My colleague states that reality TV is harmful towards the audience's perceived sense of satisfaction with their own lives, and also highlights that these effects are more defined in the female audience. I'm here to tell you that while the claim may or may not be true, there are numerous holes in the evidence presented by my opponent that was meant to strengthen her argument. One of my opponent's secondary claims is that there is too much importance placed on materialism and superficiality. To further this claim, she references an article on the Clay Center for the Young Healthy Minds, explaining superficiality based on Keeping Up with the Kardashians, a reality show based upon the family, quotes that when Kim was about to give birth, she, instead of making sure she had her hospital room reserved and her bags prepared, she was instead on the phone with members of her glam squad in order to ensure she looks presentable. This vain behavior is chastised within the show, with her sisters stating typical Kim. However, this reference hurts the secondary claim of the importance of superficiality, as instead of praising such behavior, Kim is chastised, therefore degrading supposed importance of such things. Kim is outed as a spoiled and an uninspiring figurehead rather than promoting such superficiality. The second of my opponent's secondary claims to further her argument is that reality TV displays an excess of negativity and aggression that would afflict any potential viewers of this genre. In order to prove this, she displays a Today.com poll, and it stated that 46% of women and 26% of men watch the genre, that being reality TV, because they like to see how people with money and fame live out their lives. Layered within other forms of evidence, this citation is used in order to prove the excessive negativity and aggression, but in reality contributes almost nothing to the argument at hand. The statistics of why a person would watch reality TV has zero correlation to the apparent negativity supposedly prevalent in the various shows. This piece of evidence takes attention away from the point of that claim, therefore weakening the argument. The final secondary claim used to convince the audience that reality TV promotes a message of negative body image to young females is cited within the argument using a study from the American Society of Plastic Surgeons stating that 57% of surgery patients were high-intensity viewers. The study goes on to state that other percentages of viewers, of viewer density in terms of reality TV viewership is higher or lower. While this does give evidence that viewers of reality TV do in fact more often receive plastic surgery, it fails to address the claim that reality TV promotes negative body image specifically to females. All other forms of evidence in regards to this secondary claim regard women in some way, shape, or form. This piece of study instead fails to specify the negative image of young females straying from the intended demographic of analyzation. This weakens the argument, leaving behind a more generalized idea that doesn't specify or target the section of the main claim regarding more profound effects upon the female audience. In conclusion, while the argument of reality TV being harmful towards the audience's perceived sense of satisfaction with their own lives, with effects clearly visible in the female audience, may be true, some of the evidence presented in reference to various secondary claims serve only to weaken the argument, whether it be through non-specifics or opposite intentions.
Thank you. All right, Justin, you follow the structure pretty clearly. I thought that was okay. One of the things that you need to do, I think, is develop a little bit of information of your own. Most of your argument is based on attempting to analyze the evidence and the reasoning that the advocate used, which I think you did a good job of. But since there's no counter evidence and nothing to diminish it, that means that you're relying entirely on things that just press some of the arguments instead of having something that is also convincing from your own point of view. And I think that weakens the response a little bit. Some of the challenges on the way the evidence were being used I thought were pretty effective. I think you were right, for instance, on that second point where you explained why it doesn't really apply to the negativity issue that's being presented. On the third point, you've got a legitimate criticism about the evidence not being specific to women, and I think that that's okay to point out, but it's a very general kind of press on the issue, something that you could have said, like I said, immediately after the speech, and it feels like there's just been a little bit less preparation than there could be in developing the argument. Most of your arguments are warrant challenges, and the way in which the evidence is being used is suggested to be problematic in some way, shape, or form. But I thought that you did a pretty good job explaining those criticisms. I think they could be a little bit stronger. And obviously you need to go to a Stones concert and sing along a little bit more often, because that's their big song. And you just struggled with that word. I'm not exactly sure why. I can't get no satisfaction. All right.